The year is 1985. The Soviet Union stands tall, a superpower, a vast empire. It spans 11 time zones. It boasts a fearsome military machine, nuclear weapons, a rival to the United States. Its grip on Eastern Europe is firm. The Iron Curtain holds strong. To the world, the USSR seems unshakable, invincible, but appearances can be deceiving. Beneath the surface, cracks are appearing. The Soviet economy is struggling. Centralized planning is failing. Shortages are commonplace. People stand in long lines for basic necessities. Frustration simmers. Dissatisfaction grows. The weight of the arms race is crushing. Keeping pace with the United States is costly. It drains resources. It strains the system. The invasion of Afghanistan has become a quagmire. A costly war with no end in sight. The Soviet system, once so formidable, is starting to crumble. A colossus with feet of clay. Life under Soviet rule is restrictive. Freedom of speech is limited, dissent is silenced. The KGB, the Soviet security agency, is ever present. Fear is a tool of control. People whisper their discontent. They long for more freedom, a better life. The Soviet economy, despite its size, is inefficient. Bureaucracy stifles innovation. The black market thrives. Corruption is rampant. The gap between the privileged elite and ordinary citizens widens. Resentment festers. Nationalist sentiments, long suppressed, begin to resurface. The Soviet Union is a patchwork of different ethnicities and cultures. Many yearn for their own identity, their own voice. The seeds of discontent are sown. The once mighty Soviet Empire is starting to rot from within. In 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev becomes the new leader of the Soviet Union. He is young, energetic. He recognizes the need for change. He introduces reforms, perestroika, restructuring the economy, glasnost, openness, a loosening of censorship. Gorbachev's reforms are intended to revitalize the Soviet system, but they have unintended consequences. Glasnost unleashes a torrent of criticism. Long suppressed grievances surface. The media, once tightly controlled, begins to expose the problems plaguing Soviet society. Perestroika, intended to boost the economy, leads to further instability. Shortages worsen, prices rise, people become disillusioned. Gorbachev's reforms, meant to save the Soviet Union, are unwittingly hastening its demise. Section 4. Cracks in the Iron Curtain. Eastern Europe breaks free. The winds of change are sweeping across Eastern Europe. Inspired by Gorbachev's reforms, people take to the streets. They demand democracy, freedom, an end to Soviet domination. In Poland, the Solidarity movement, led by Lech Walesa, challenges communist rule. In Hungary, the border with Austria is opened. East Germans seize the opportunity. They flee to the west. The Berlin Wall, a symbol of Soviet oppression, crumbles. It is a pivotal moment. The Iron Curtain is collapsing. The Soviet Empire is shrinking. Section 5. The empire crumbles from coup to collapse in a matter of days. August 1991, a group of hardline communists attempt a coup. They place Gorbachev under house arrest. They try to seize control of the government. They want to turn back the clock to preserve the Soviet Union, but the coup is met with resistance. Boris Yeltsin, the newly elected president of Russia, emerges as a powerful voice against the coup. He rallies the people. He calls for a return to democracy. The coup collapses. Gorbachev returns to Moscow, but he is a weakened leader. The Soviet Union is on the brink of collapse. The Baltic states declare independence. Other republics follow suit. The once mighty Soviet Empire is crumbling before the world's eyes. Section 6. The unthinkable unfolds. The Soviet Union fades into history. December 25, 1991. Gorbachev resigns as president of the Soviet Union. The Soviet flag is lowered for the last time over the Kremlin. The Soviet Union ceases to exist. It is replaced by 15 independent states. The Cold War is over. The world watches in astonishment. The collapse of the Soviet Union, once unthinkable, is now a reality. A new world order is emerging. Section 7, Echoes of an Empire, Reflections on a Momentous Collapse. The sudden fall of the Soviet Union serves as a stark reminder that even the most powerful empires are not invincible. It was a complex interplay of factors: economic stagnation, political repression, the yearnings for freedom, nationalist sentiments. Gorbachev's reforms, intended to save the system, ultimately hastened its demise. The collapse of the Soviet Union had profound consequences for the world. It marked the end of the Cold War. It reshaped the geopolitical landscape. It ushered in an era of uncertainty and change. But it also offered hope, the hope for a more peaceful and democratic world. A world where the human spirit, the desire for freedom, could ultimately triumph over even the most formidable of obstacles. What was the true tipping point? Perhaps it was the moment the Soviet people stopped believing in the system. Or maybe it was the realization that their voices, however suppressed, could no longer be silenced.